Ooh, what's good, Wizards fans? It's your host, the real Ed Oliver and Brandon Scott. The Washington Wizards lay an egg after a 2-game win streak to the Grizzlies. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
So thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to PrizePicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use code all lowercase LockedOnNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. It was just this game is unfortunate. The Wizards lost to the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis, 109-97. Of course, I mean, we can go with a long list of injuries. I mean, the Wizards are banged up too, but the Grizzlies, of course, didn't have Ja Morant, no Jaren Jackson Jr., a lot of guys out tonight. Marcus Smart is out for the season. Derrick Rose is, of course, always injured. But just looking at the injury report for the Grizzlies is just insane. All the guys that they had out tonight, they definitely were undermanned. And the Wizards were actually favorites coming to this game. The Wizards have been rarely been favorites coming into a game, and coming off a 2-game win streak, you just think they would come in with more energy and effort tonight, but they just laid an egg. But of course, I'll let you start off. Losing to the Memphis Grizzlies with looking at their starting five. I mean, the guy that we let go, Trey Jamison, was a starter for them tonight. But what were your thoughts on the game and where did it go wrong?
Oh man, where did it go right? That's probably the best question. I mean, I knew that going in with obviously we had no center. Rashawn Holmes is out, Martin Bagley third's out. They're probably going to roll Kyle Kuzma small ball 5, and he does what he can at the 5. But I just knew that rebounding was going to be an issue, and it was. I mean, it's kind of beyond rebounding. I mean, we've been bad at rebounding all year long, but again, with both our centers being out, kind of knew the rebounding and interior defense is going to be an issue for this team, and it was. I mean, we just couldn't stop anybody. I mean, we had Jamison, man, who previously was on the Capital City Go-Go on a 10-day contract. I mean, he started out the game, I believe, with 8 straight points, man. So, I mean, they just cooked us in the paint. Looking at this team, looking at the starting 5, Tyus Jones, obviously defense, just very abysmal on the defensive end, man. And then from an offensive standpoint, just not his best night. Shooting 1 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 4 points. Now, he did contribute 9 assists. His assist numbers have been on point all year long, so that's usually his MO, man. His assist numbers are really what his main contribution is on the offensive end. Corey Kispert, really good night, 22 points, 8 for 11 from the field, 5 for 7 for 3. So, Corey Kispert had a really good game shooting the ball, which we know he's that sniper, man. He's that guy, high basketball IQ, the ability to cut. So, really good night for him. Bilal Coulibaly, kind of a mixed bag. I mean, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 3 for 12, 3 for 10 from 3. We were kind of talking about before the show, how I want to see him bring the ball in a little bit more as far as his shot was struggling. And instead of just kind of, relying on that jump shot, try to drive, try to drive the lane, try to get some fouls, man, try to get to the free throw line. And, I kind of want to see a lot more aggression as far as attacking the rim from Coulibaly. But, we knew that, coming into the season, his offense is going to be very, very raw. And it is. He's got things to work on offensively, and it's all good. We got time as a rebuild. So, we're going to have plenty of time for him to develop. But, I mean, his shot just is not there yet. And like I said, it's all good. Not even close to, spazzing out on him yet. Let's see. Denny, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 6 for 10. So he had a pretty good night from an efficiency standpoint. 4 for 7 from the charity strike. So I definitely want to see him get better on the charity strike, but not bad night from him. And then Kyle Kuzma, small ball 5, 24.7 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 10 for 19, 1 for 4 from 3, 4 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, but not bad game for Kyle Kuzma considering small ball 5, man. I mean, you could tell overall the frustrations with the team. A lot of people were frustrated. Interim head coach Brian Keefe yelling at a few people for their lack of defensive effort. Predominantly, it was Corey Kispert and Tyus Jones, which, I believe that this year, Corey Kispert has definitely shown more effort on the defensive end, but he's not a stopper at all. And, Tyus Jones, man, He's just, continues to show that, well, offensively, he's on point with the assists. Obviously, the assist to turnover ratio has always been good, but defensively, he can be a detriment at times, man. And I really hate to say that, and you really can't really point at many guys on the roster and really say that this guy is a high-level defender outside of Denny and Bilal. But, it's just boxing out was an issue. Obviously, interior defense was an issue. Just no effort, no care. And it really surprised me, considering we came off a 2-game winning streak. And this was a winnable game. I mean, the unlucky number 13, they had 13 guys out. Like I said, they had so many guys out. It was pretty much the whole starting five for Memphis were 10-day contract guys. Because, if you look at their starting five, outside of Luke Kennard, Jordan Goodwin, Conchar, Aldama, and Jameson. And Jameson, like I said, is a previously of the Capital City Go-Go, so is another guy that kind of let go, kind of like Chris Dunn. So it was just a hard game to watch, man. It was an effort thing to me. Yeah, we had no center. Yeah, we knew that the battle of the boards was going to be a issue for this team going forward. But, the lack of effort, considering the 2-game win streak, it was kind of surprising. And so let's look at the second team real quick for the Wiz. Jordan Poole, underwhelming, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 4 for 11. So not his best. And he's kind of cooled down a lot, man. He started out hot after that move to a 6-man, and he's really, really cooled off, man. So I want to see him kind of pick it up. And then kind of look at the rest of the second unit. Jared Butler, 6 points. He had it in 10 minutes, so not bad. Emery, 7 minutes, played 2 points. Johnny Davis might as well just stayed in the locker room. It's just a hard game to watch, man. And like you said, this was, in my opinion, this was a winnable game. They had 13 guys out. The meat and potatoes of their roster are gone. You Jaws out, obviously, it's just a winnable game. And just to totally see the lack of effort was just shows that Memphis, they wanted it more, man. And any given night, it's kind of like we say in football, any given Sunday, man, any given night in the NBA, teams want it more, they're going to win this game, and they wanted it more. You got guys who are fighting, they're playing for a spot, and it showed. They really wanted this win. So it's, am I surprised? No, because we usually see this following a winning streak, right? Last time we had a 2-game, we came out flat in the next game, man. So it's just, no effort, and it just was hard to watch. And boxing out continues to be an issue, rebounding. So, you're not going to see too many changes. We're in the stretch run of the season, so we are who we are at this point. And, to me, from a culture standpoint, I just want to see them kind of put a little more effort into it, man. Especially against a team like Memphis, where, most of the guys on the roster are on the bench. So, yeah, they came out flat tonight, man. It was pretty hard to watch.
Yeah, they did. They got pushed around by Trey Jameson. They got pushed around by Wenyan Gabriel at times. He bulldozed Denny to the floor, or Denny was trying to take a charge. Trey Jameson had what? How much did Trey Jameson have? Like you brought up, we had him on a 10-day contract really like last month. And he comes here, he's a guy that we could definitely use because we don't have any bigs at all. Kuz was playing the 5 and Denny's playing the 5. Trey Jameson comes in with 24 points, easy, 11 for 13. Just no resistance from the Wizards defense at all. Tyus had a struggling night defensively. Same thing with Corey Kispert. You brought that up as well. Yeah. Brian Keefe getting on those guys. Jared Butler played pretty well, so I thought, he should have gotten a little bit more playing time. He had 10 minutes. I thought he could have played a little bit more over Tyus. It just wasn't Tyus's night. 1 for 9 from the field. And, assist to turnover ratio was good for him, 9 assists to only 1 turnover, but shooting the ball, he had 1 turnover. He was 1 for 9. So it was kind of like the opposite as far as shooting and turnovers. Kuzma with 24 points, but overall, Jordan Goodwin, the former Wizard, he had 12 rebounds. So they really just out hustled us. They out physicaled us, or the Wizards. They out toughed the Wizards, 53 boards to 28. You don't deserve to win. They were down by 25 points at one point. That's just terrible. You have a 2-game winning streak. You lay an egg. I get it. They're trying to get draft capital and whatnot. But, you don't – a team without Vince Williams, without Jaren Jackson, without Ja Morant, without so many guys, Marcus Smart on injury reserve, so many guys out for the Memphis Grizzlies, and you come out and you're down by 25 points. So they just have to show a better effort than that. It's disappointing when you beat a Heat team in Miami and you come out and play like this against a Memphis Grizzlies team that is not going to make the playoffs. It has, their third string guys out there playing. Lamar Stevens out as well. So, just struggling to shoot the ball from the 3-point line. The Grizzlies didn't shoot the ball well from the 3-point line either with 24%. But yeah, just defensively, they reverted back to their ways defensively where they couldn't get any stops. Basically like a cone on defense. And Jordan Poole had his moments, 10 points, 4 for 11, 2 for 6 from the field. I thought he could have played a little bit more, him and Jared Butler together. And then Corey Kispert had a good game, 5 for 7 from the 3-point line, 22 points. And Bilal, like you said as well, he just got to settle down.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, so he's still trying to find his way, get comfortable with his jumper. He did airball a 3 as well. Had a turnover out there as well. So it's kind of like not a deer in the headlights, but he's just got to get out there and play more and get more comfortable and get more confident and just not think too much and not hesitate,
Yeah.
So that comes with the game and just confidence, him playing more, working on that handle, So right now it really is just developing and getting him better. This offseason is going to be huge for him, getting stronger, getting in the weight room, working on his handle, working on his shot, just a lot of things to work on. So this offseason is going to be really, really huge for Bilal. So these last 18 games, if he makes mistakes, I'm fine with it. Yeah. It is what it is. It is tough seeing Gigi Jackson go out there and play really well with 19 points. Bilal has had some good games, but it's just like the second round. He was available. They didn't take him. So, and I like Vucevic. It's a whole different conversation. Yeah. But Gigi Jackson just right there, available is just like, just something they should have considered.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other conversation, man, about this previous draft, man, because you got 3 guys, man, they were right there. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I mean, another thing to kind of look at, man. Shout out to Shook Biz, man. Keep me honest about Johnny Davis. I mean, yeah, he's got to get more minutes, man. It's tough to find a rhythm when you're only getting 7 minutes. I mean, we got to get him more minutes. Like I said, it's tough, man. I kind of compare it to like being a pinch hitter in baseball, man. Coming off the bench and expected to get a hit is just hard to do, man. Johnny Davis has 18 games left, man. See what he can do. Give him 18 games left. Definitely you have to see what you have in Johnny Davis, man. But I mean, it really comes down to the effort thing. Not boxing out, not caring. The coach is yelling at people already. I mean, it's just they've got it. We've got to see a consistent effort. 2-game winning streak, saw a totally different team, and now they kind of reverted back to a lot of their bad habits, man. So just look, Memphis wanted it more. It just comes down to that. They wanted it more. So,
right. So you're going to get a quick word about eBay Motors. Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guarantee Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car to the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guarantee Fit only available to U.S. customers. Also, make sure you guys check out MLB season is coming up. Major League Baseball is coming up. As you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. Baseball fans, mark your calendars for March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern for the best MLB season preview, coming exclusively to Locked On Sports Today on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Be the first to get local insight from the MLB local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network. Find it on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. All right, so I guess we'll tap into some comments here and get that started. It's 36 people in the chat here. A little bit of a late start, 10:43 at night. The time has moved forward as well.
Oh yeah.
For daylight savings or whatever it's called. But Pink Difference says JD to G League, Johnny Davis to G League. He can't get minutes. It's not there. I just think for the last 10 games of the season, I think that what they're going to do, what they did like last year, where they sat Bradley Beal, they sat Porzingis, they sat Kuzma. I think for the last 10 games of the season, they'll probably just sit Kuz. They may sit Jordan Poole. They may sit some guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of guys to really sit down for a rest. I mean, I think Denny didn't play like the last 10 games of the year. They rested him as well. And the starting lineup was like Corey Kispert, Johnny Davis, Gafford started. And I'm trying to think who was starting at point guard. I think Monte might have still been playing at point.
Yeah.
Like Monte, Corey, Denny, Gaff, and I can't remember who else was the fifth person, but I remember the last game of the season, they just let Isaiah Todd play the whole game. So they may do stuff like that. Eugene put up some good minutes, and they actually came back at one point. They cut the lead to like 6 or something like that, but they just couldn't get stops when they really needed it. They tried to come back at the end just a little too late, and they got out-rebounded too, man. You can't win games where you're out-rebounded by 30 boards. It's just not going to happen, and there's no reason why they should have got out-toughed, out-physicaled, and they just came out there lethargic. But to get back to Johnny Davis, to the G League, no, there's no point in sending him to the G League. He's already been to the G League enough. So it's just like it's either he plays or he's out the league. It's no going back and forth to the G League and whatnot. It's just you got to play the young man. Then I think the last 10 games of the season is when they start sitting some guys. That's probably what will happen. He'll probably get some playing time.
Yeah, I hope so, man, because Johnny Davis needs to play in time, man. You have to see what they have in him because right now it doesn't seem like he's got a future here in DC, man. And like I said, there's a whole nother episode to get into the blame game of why, he ended up the way he did here in DC, man. It's very unfortunate because we're young guys, man, and we saw with Denny, we see with Bilal, we see with Corey Kispert, Johnny Davis, as far as young players, man, confidence is key, and his confidence is taking such a beating, and he's got to get consistent minutes to see what he can do because, I mean, if you saw, man, the last couple games, like when the confidence is there, he shoots more, he feels, more in flow. So we've got to get that man some minutes just for the sake of seeing what you have in him going forward. So yeah, that's why I'm with you. The go, I think that's a foregone conclusion at this point, man. I just, it really can't help him. The only thing that's going to help Johnny Davis is consistent minutes, man. And with Landry Shamet out, I felt like this was the opportune time for him to get minutes. So I just don't understand it. West didn't play him. Brian Keith's not playing him. I just don't understand it, man. He's a young player. You have to see what you have in him, man. And like I said, you go into year 3 and he still hasn't played consistent minutes. I mean, I just don't, I don't really see what the future is in DC for him, man. And it's very unfortunate for a young player, man. So
they just don't believe in him at all. And, we don't get to watch practice. I know you've been to some of the practice, so I don't know if you're able to watch the whole practice where they go 5-on-5 or different things like that. Or even if they do go 5-on-5, I know a lot of teams don't at this point because it's just right at the later part of the season. They want to rest guys. They don't want guys to get injured, so they don't want to risk it. It's more shoot-around time now.
Yeah.
But it's probably some stuff that they're seeing in practice that they don't like. Maybe he's not even playing well in practice either. He went out there and he missed a layup today. It wasn't the easiest layup, but it's kind of like you gotta do a better job of finishing that. And right now he's not doing a good job of finishing. He's not doing a good job of shooting the ball from the 3-point line or jumpers. So his offensive game is a super struggle right now. Of course, like we keep saying, the guy's got to play. There's no way he's going to get better by playing 5 to 10 minutes a game. I get it. He's got to earn his minutes, but there's no way he's going to get better by only getting 10 to 5 minutes a game. It's just no way.
Nah.
But we're going to get a quick word from Brandon here, and then we're going to finish up on some comments.
Yes, sir. Tonight's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. So you probably wondering, what is PrizePicks? Well, it's easy. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Like tonight, I rolled with 24, over 22 for Kyle Kuzma, and it was for points, and over 8 assists for Tyus. So I hit that, and I got a current bet in for Giannis, man. So hopefully Giannis puts in some work tonight, man. Need you tonight, Giannis. So it is demon time on PrizePicks. You can now win up to 100 times your money. As little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000. Demons and goblins are the newest and most exciting way to play at PrizePicks. Squares marked with red demons or green goblins get you different payouts. You can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. And often tonight, usually you get a little bit of kickback for 3 out of 5 picks. So there are definitely a couple of good things about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. I'm trying to tell you is that easy. And it's quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes PrizePicks the number one daily fantasy sports app in the country right now. So all you have to do is go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use promo code LockedOnNBA for a first deposit matchup to $100. And again, all you have to do is go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use promo code LockedOnNBA for the first deposit matchup to $100. And tonight's episode is also brought to you by Robinhood. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at Robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as the first quarter of 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of the first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. That is key, everybody. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. And Robinhood IRA is available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker dealer. So definitely recommend that. So let's get back into some comments. We have 36 people in the log.
Yes, sir. We'll probably read like 2 more and then wrap it up.
Yes, sir. This comment is from Cody 1999. It says Johnny Davis might be the first or the worst first round pick in Wizards history. Even Kwame and Vesley, oh Lord, did more than him. It's so disappointing. I didn't think he would be this bad. I mean, I can't blame Johnny all the way, man. I mean, yeah, I do get the perspective that if given minutes, you have to capitalize on those minutes, man. You know, you got to make those layups. You know, you've got to make those shots. You've got to capitalize when given minutes. But I mean, you know, like I said, I always compare it to being a pinch hitter, man. It is tough to find a rhythm, man, when your minutes just aren't consistent, and it's kind of questionable because we're in our first year of a rebuild, and he's a young player that you have to see what he can do. So it's tough to really pinpoint what went wrong, you know, whether it's them trying to make him a point guard, tinkering the shot. It's just so many factors that it makes it unfortunate, man, because 10th overall pick, and you're looking at going into year 3 where he has not really had any consistent minutes. So it's tough to pinpoint where it went wrong. It's wrong. And I can tell you that, you know, the shot has changed probably 6 or 7 times. It's hard to watch with a young player, man. And then, you know, like I said, when you look at players like Denny and Bilal, you see how important confidence is. You know, Denny, you know, he was a confidence guy for a long time, man. When his confidence is high, he's rocking. Same thing with Bilal, man. So, you know, hopefully they give him consistent minutes. Excuse me. Down the stretch run and try to get his confidence up, man. But at this point, where do you find that confidence, man? And it's just tough, man. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, they changed his shot a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And his shot, to me, was fine when he first came in from Wisconsin. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. He just doesn't really have the explosiveness to get by guys, doesn't have the counter moves to get by guys. It's just like what we saw from that first Summer League game where he just couldn't get past people. Just kind of looked like he had semen in his feet and then has struggled to shoot the ball from the 3-point line. Now he's struggling to make layups and finish around the rim. So, yeah, for him to say he might be the worst first-round pick in Wizards history, even Kwame and Vesley did more than him. So disappointing. Yeah, Kwame. Yeah, even Kwame. He at least came in and averaged like 7 points, 8 points a game at times. Had a couple doubles here and there. So you know, it's like at least he did come in and play and make some type of an impact. Yes, he definitely was a disappointing first pick of the draft. Jan Vesley. Oh, that's a tough one. Jan was pretty disappointing. He was pretty disappointing. But yeah, even his number wise, I mean, you can't get any lower than Johnny. Johnny's averaging like 1 point a game, or something like that. Jan was pretty underwhelming too, to be nice. So yeah, it's painful to have this conversation just to talk about all the disappointing Wizards draft picks over the years for them to pick Jan and him be traded a couple years after he was drafted, and then Kwame Brown. where he just didn't work out. And now you got Johnny Davis, 10th pick of the draft, where he can barely get on the court. So it's just, it's a tough conversation, Cotty. It really is. It's unfortunate. It is. Lame says, Trey Jameson, who was on our roster briefly, just went 10 for 12. He went 11 for 13 and couldn't get, I guess you must have commented. Lame must have commented this before the game was over and couldn't get any playing time on our sorry ASS franchise.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some guys come and go from the go-go. I would sound like Dr. Susan. So, I mean, Chris Dunn was another guy that came through the Capital City Go-Go, man, where, when we played Utah, he looked pretty good. So, we've got to keep talent in-house, man. I've always believed that the Capital City Go-Go has done a good job developing young talent and getting them ready to step up and play for the Wizards if need be. But, we've let a lot of good guys go too. So, I mean, it's a testament to what they're doing. But, yeah, I mean, he started out hot, man. I mean, he had a couple of hook shots to start the game, and he just went from there, man. And it just shows how bad we are as far as the paint. Now, I get it, no centers, but I firmly believe that you got to have 3 centers on the roster, man. We get, whether they want to give John Butler Jr. a look from the go-go, or you maybe go out there and sign a guy to the minimum, just a guy that, just looking for, some minutes. But we've got to have another center, man, because small ball 5 just ain't working for us, man. It's just it's one thing if we were a good rebounding team, but we're missing out on boxing out. And at this point, that's the MO how to beat us, man. The teams beat us in the paint with or without centers. So,
yeah. So we're gonna read some more comments tomorrow night, and most likely do a preview. Just looking at some of them, says Locked On Law said, "What the heck is Bilal looking at? As sure as you know what isn't the rim or expletive isn't the rim." So yeah, he had a rough night. This was a rough game for him. He had some good moments, but it was definitely he looked like a rookie tonight for sure. And then a lot of people commenting saying that Tyus should have been benched today, and that his defense was bad. Edian says giving Tyus that much playing time when he played horrible all games should be a crime. So those are some of the things about Brian Keefe that people have brought up, but we're definitely going to talk about some of that tomorrow. Yes, sir. And we just want to thank you guys for watching and making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you guys get podcasts. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be previewing and answering, finishing up some of the comments that you guys commented tonight that we weren't able to get to. Hail to Wizards. Peace.